Okay, everybody, welcome to you'll see the heart behind me, and we are now outside of the old city of Jerusalem, of today's city, but we would have been inside the city at the time of Jesus. Now, why we're at the city of David here in Jerusalem, by the way, it is absolutely, you can hear the harp music in the background. Why this is so important is because this is really getting to the archaeological remains of Jerusalem when it was capital of the Jewish people. We're talking from, of course, the city of David, David who conquered the city around 3,000 years ago. So the city of David today is a must-see national park. Jews, Christians, guys, you got to come here. If it's not on your itinerary, you make sure that it is, because where we're going is only one of 3 places we know for sure where Jesus was. The first place we're going to go is called the Siloam Pool. And of course, that is the site where Jesus heals the blind man. So to get there, we have to walk through the old city, which is a 15-minute walk on a nice, pleasant day like today. And then we enter the city of David. I suggest doing the whole tour, and then at the end of the tour, you get to the Siloam Pool, the Shiloach, but we are not going to do that tour today. Today is going to be a shortish video, but a very, very important one. So without further ado, let's start walking. And the way we get there, and I'm not going to talk too much in this part, just to show you that we're on the eastern part of the city, and box office, of course, bathrooms. We have, don't worry about coming here in Israel, we always have clean bathrooms. This is to the lady who says I talk about too much about bathrooms on my videos, but when you're touring, hey, listen, it's important. So if we look out over here, we see the Mount of Olives, okay? And that, of course, is the cemetery. We see that hotel on the top, and then we see this huge Jewish cemetery. But if we look across at this Arab village here called Siloam, when you get here, in the bedrock under the houses, you'll see what look like squares entering caves. Guys, those are Jewish tombs from more than 2,700 years ago. Okay, everybody, we're now at the bottom of this hill, and in case you're wondering where we are, what I'm going to show you now is a little bit confusing, but we walked out of Dung Gate, which is over here, okay? And we walk down, and the City of David Visitor Center is here. This is the old city of Jerusalem, by the way, north, south, east, west. This is the Garden of Gethsemane here. Okay, there's the Church of the All Nations. And what you see here, we're going to be going there. We'll be going there next. These are the steps that actually led up to the temple, which was on the spot of today the Al-Aqsa Mosque. The Dome of the Rock. Al-Aqsa Mosque is, where is it here? Is this structure here. So again, just so you can get a little view here, we're all the way down here, and this map is a hybrid map. It's modern, but it also has an ancient part that the archaeologists have recently found. And what you have here is the wall from Herod's time here, and there was a gate here you can see a gate here called the Southern Gate. And Jews on pilgrimage would come here. They would dip themselves in the pool, and also dipped about everything they had with them, because everything had to be in a state of ritual purity. And then they walked up this staircase, which we're going to see part of, all the way, and then they would walk in to the temple through what are called, oh, there we go, let me get it through. They would walk up the staircase, walk over the staircase would continue and walk up and then give their sacrifices and worship at the temple. So the really neat part is this pool we see here is this pool here. This pool was discovered in the early 90s when they were laying a new sewer line. And the archaeologists working up on the hill, up there, up on the hill above us, ran down and they found this corner. And they said, there's stairs coming up. But then they realized they're actually stairs going down. And what they found was this pool. And we think the pool, the older part of it might even date from Hezekiah, probably about 100 years before Jesus. Okay. And this is the pool where Jesus talks about in book of John, where the blind man is healed by Jesus. Remember, Jesus tells him to get in the sun here. Jesus tells the blind man, go, remember he gets mud, spits on it. Remember, spit in the ancient world was thought it had medicinal properties. Takes dirt, makes a poultice, makes a mud pack, puts it on his eyes and heals the blind man. And then the blind man goes back, and those who have known him, this guy since birth, they say, hey, you can see. And of course, the lame shall walk, the blind shall see, right? So Jesus was here. This is the place of that miracle. Now, when you come here, what I suggest is we're taking this walk here, and this, they've done some, and you won't be coming, if you're with me, I hope you'll be, and you're a good walker, we'll be coming what is through Hezekiah's tunnel. And Hezekiah's tunnel ends up actually down on the other side, but we're going to be walking over. And they put in a new doorway. They fixed this all up. Looks very nice. And I haven't been here in about 18 months. And what we see now are the staircase. We're only seeing part of it. Now, these are the steps that Jesus and the disciples walked on, without a doubt. And this will lead half a mile, 800 meters more. Actually, it's more like 3/4 of a mile. And this will lead up to the Temple Mount. So this is one spot. This is an absolutely amazing place. You've got to come here, okay? So, folks, we're now going to go to our second spot. I'm going to walk back up. I need the exercise. And so let me see if I can. We're going to walk back up. Like I said, I need the exercise. And we're going to want to get to the steps of the temple. We'll talk then. See you soon. Okay, everybody. In case you're wondering where I am, you can see behind me a big old building there. Let me get you a view of that. All the way up there, that's the Temple Mount. And what we're seeing here are the actual stones built by King Herod the Great, which means before Jesus' time. And you can see some of these stones. If you look at this one right here, this stone right here is about 145 metric tons. They're big stones. This one here is also about 85 metric tons. And the amazing thing here is the sidewalk we see here. Now, this sidewalk was repaved in 44. So if your tour guide comes and tells you that Jesus walked on these stones, maybe some of them, but the walkway was here. Now, in Jesus' time, now, we are above, we're in the air. If we were in Jesus' time, we're going to walk down these steps, and this big road that we saw earlier in the video, this is it. The road continues on, but the Romans destroy the city in 78 AD, 70 CE, and what we see are the stones from that destruction, and we can still see soot from the burning on the stones, and you can see the soot, the burning here. So when you come here, this corner will be shown to you, and this corner was actually all the way up there on, remember, the Temple Mount is this big platform that Herod builds to put the temple on top of it. Nothing remains of that temple. But what we see here, this corner, this is what it looked like right here. And you can see that the trumpeting, they would trumpet in the morning for the priests to go to the temple. And that was called when the cock crowed. So when you read in the Bible that the cock crowed, when you read in the Bible that the cock crowed 3 times, guys, it's not a chicken. You couldn't keep chickens in Jerusalem. They were dirty animals. That was slang for the priests blowing the trumpet for the priestly watches to get to work early in the morning, 5:30 in the morning. So when you come here, you get to actually walk on this sidewalk here, and it was much wider, and it led directly up to the gates we're going to now, the stairs, which are still there. At least the stairs are, the gates no. Now, the sidewalk was like, this is later building. This is Arab, and they've got it closed off now. They're doing some sort of archaeological work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just turn off now and save us the walk over there. It's a short walk. It's a 5-minute walk over there, and we'll actually be standing on the steps from the time of Jesus. So let's go. Okay, everybody, we've left the old city walls. These are the Turkish walls from 1541. And when we reunited the city in 1967, and we decided to excavate here, these arches, this gate was put in. So what we're going to do is walk to the steps. Now, as we walk, we can see, by the way, this huge building here, this is a Crusader fortress, this right here, okay? So that building here predates that wall. But the Crusader wall was probably incorporated. This might actually right here be part of the Crusader wall. As we walk, we see Jewish ritual baths from the time of Jesus. This is from 2,000 years ago. And we can actually see this when we can see the steps. And you know it's a Jewish ritual bath because you see there's a center line. In Judaism, everything goes from the right. You go to the right and then to the left. So the right way, right? Orthodox in Greek. So you would walk down, dip yourself 3 times in the water, and then walk back out and have to wait till sundown to be in a state of ritual purity. So what we're seeing here is, and you can see there's a little illustration here. Let me get a little closer so you can see how this works. And that's the way you would go in a mikveh bath. Now, in front of us are the Holy Gates. And just behind this wall this is what you would see. And it's still there. It looks just like this. It's still there. It was built by Herod the Great 2,000 years ago. And the steps we're going to go to now, what we're seeing here almost all the bottom steps are original. The top ones, you can see the bottom one's original. The top ones here are modern. And this is what it looked like when let me get my shadow out of there. When my relatives, remember I'm of the priestly class, I wouldn't have gone in this way. But if there are Jewish people, I hope there are Jewish people watching this because this is our history. These are the gates that you left. Now you entered the gates here, on the right. And then you went up a staircase to the Temple Mount, and then you did your sacrifice, whatever you were supposed to do, and then came out this side. Of course, the important holiday everybody thinks is Passover. Guys, that isn't true. The important holiday is the Festival of Weeks, okay? And Sukkot. Sukkot would have been probably the more important one, the Festival of Booths, because at the end of Sukkot, Moses gets the law on Mount Sinai. So if you ask me, for Christians, the most important most important holiday is Passover. Our Passover, your Easter. So they fall around the same time. So that's that. Now, when you're here, these are one of the few places in the Holy Land, in Israel, where you can put your foot down, and this is where Jesus walked, and Mary, and Joseph, and Paul, and all the disciples on these steps. And I can't add any more to that. That is just absolutely amazing what's here. These are called, again, the southern steps, because we're facing, actually behind me is south, now we're facing due north that way. And if we look over here, we see the Mount of Olives, and right just on the other side, if we could see through this wall, we would see Gethsemane. So we're looking south now. So, and you can see we're in the height of this Omicron COVID. Nobody here. I'm alone here. So I hope when you get here, it won't be too crowded. Your pastor or your rabbi will be able to talk to you. So from the southern steps in Jerusalem, Jacob for Sale Tour Guide. Hope to see you here real soon. Bye-bye now.